Yes, people, welcome back to Football United TV. This is Gunners from All Corners. Anthony is usually the host of this show. I'm here today, standing in. I'm asking him all the questions about Arsenal's defeat because you've got to. You've got to have a little bit of a laugh at the title contenders at the moment. But you know what's coming right now? It is the intro.
This is Gunners from All Corners. Today we're going to do something different and very special. Matt's asking me the questions. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy today's stream. And Matt's going to fire away.
I'm going to fire away. I am. I'm going to be hosting today, and I've got none other than Tony in the building as well. How you doing, bro?
Hey, good evening. See, guys, I just finished my show right now. It was a heated debate down there, and you know what? Yeah, it's a good one. See, I'm back to goodness of all corners. I'm back. I'm back, guys. I'm back. See, it's
Yeah.
nice to always see my good friend here, Anthony. Me and him go way back. See, big ups to you, and of course you, my friend. I don't know you, but big ups. Nice to meet you, my brother.
Tony, this is the first time we have spoken a lot. I do believe I reached out to you to get you onto the channel the first time, and it's good to be on Gunners from All Corners with you both. And I'm going to be asking the questions as a neutral person. And of course, Tony and Anthony, we're going to start off with Everton 1, Arsenal 0. The Sean Dyche effect, people are saying. Obviously, him going into the new job, first game, you were only expecting them to come out full blaze. What do you make of this result, Anthony? Is it something that Arsenal should worry about, or are you going to have some setbacks along the way to the end of the season?
Well, to be honest with you, Matt, I think it's a bit of both, really. I mean, the way our Arsenal are playing at the minute, they're doing really well, top of the league. Everton comes up, you're fancying the 3 points against Everton, knowing that the problems that they've had there, obviously sacking Frank Lampard, brings Sean Dyche in, and you're wondering how he's going to, how he's going to get the team motivated in his obviously his first game of the season. But listen, I don't know what Sean Dyche did, but it was remarkable. That's all I can say. 2 days in the job to play Arsenal. His tactics and all that were spot on. They did park the bus a bit and obviously attacked us on the break as well. And obviously they scored from that and exploited us, in all different bloody shapes and forms and styles of the pitch. But I think, listen, it is a good win for him, and he's the right man for the job. And if Everton, are going to keep playing like this day in and day out, I think they're going to survive.
Yeah, I think so too. And I don't know whether you agree with Anthony there, Tony, and the fact that Tarkowski was the guy to score that winner, who was at Burnley, managed by Sean Dyche, the Sean Dyche effect. But what do you think about that? And what do you think about Arsenal's perspective? Do you look at that and say, probably maybe the worst performance this season so far? Not really anything to worry about. You still fully at the top of the table, and I think you can still do it. But what do you make of it, mate?
See, that is our worst performance, as a team this season. You can't deny it. But again, there's no large enough corpus of games for us to look into this season and delve into it and say, we had such a bad performance in that game, in the Manchester United game, one of the 2 games we've only lost this season. was a good game in terms of possession and quality of the game, our movement, our transition, everything that had to do with that game was perfect. But see, yeah, we're coming to Everton, and Everton side, of course, that have played 21 games this season, scored a mega 16 goals this season, 28 goals shipped. It's not the baddest in the league, to be sincere, because Bournemouth have already shipped in 43 goals this season. So defensively, they are not the worst side in the league, because
Yeah.
even Manchester City have shipped in 21 goals this season. So we should give Everton that they've not shipped quite a lot of goals this season. It's only that they've been on the back end of lots of horrible defending this season, that has seen them drop points. It could just be one goal, two goals, or something like that that just takes them off the map, off the picture. But you know what? Yeah, it's good that you titled this the Sean Dyke effect, because that was it. That was it. This is the best time to actually meet or have a meeting with Arsenal Football Club. Of course, Sean Dyche, he's that kind of guy that believes in this hard rock kind of football. He's always that, that guy that he's just like Thomas Frank, or like a young prime Jurgen Klopp, who would
Yeah.
stay, in that, in that line, in that dugout line, and just back out orders. And of course, he's coming into the football club. He's had at least one or two sessions with these guys. He wants to see the team that will come up and tweak his mind and tweak his fantasy a little bit. So these guys are all stepping up. Yeah. All these guys are stepping up. Onana was like was like a horse in the middle of the park. Anthony was so pissed with that match. That day. He
I
texted me
was,
with Anthony. Can you believe what is going on here?
This guy,
Well,
yeah,
really?
it's true. It's true. See, they choked the midfield, and that's the problem when you've been playing in a sort of way that it's just a plan A that you've got. What happens when these teams come with a low block, and with this type of low block, it was a stylish one, because they didn't just come to actually defend. They still committed men forward to try and have a little bit of a go, to try and get one or two goals. Of course, you saw that matchup, and still maintained their defensive discipline. Now that's the Sean Dyke effect. That's how he played, with Burnley. And see the irony of the whole thing. Tarkowski also played for Burnley, football club. And it's no surprise that this guy just heading that winner in it.
You know what? I
yeah.
completely agree, Tony. It just had to be him, didn't it? And it was coming as well. He had a few chances, and it was like, oh my God, it had to be an ex-Burnley player. But look, I look at it like Arsenal Football Club are going to have setbacks along the way. Of course they are. You've got Man City twice as well. But I don't think it's necessarily you got to look at it and think we were completely rubbish. These are hard games. That was a very, very hard game to go into. Sean Dyche definitely can get the best out of players. We've seen that with Burnley. He was in the Premier League for 7 years with literally no budget. So what he can do with Everton and the players that they have got, by the way, they've accumulated across Europe over the past few years are decent players. A lot of clubs wanted them in the first place. So if he can get the best out of them, which it looked like he did against Arsenal, then fair play to him. But what is Arteta got to do next, going into, say, the next game, which we will talk about? But can he take anything from the defeat against Everton? Is there any sort of way in the dressing room that he can remind the players that you still got to be focused on every single game, one at a time, and that you can win this still, Anthony?
Well, yeah, it's a game that we can win, but he's going to be telling the players, showing the players the previous match against Everton, the mistakes that they've made. And Matt, I got to be honest with you, there was loads of mistakes in that game that we made.
Odegaard won.
Yeah.
Holding on.
Yes, that's one. If there were two good players, I can only name two good players. Well, players that was reasonably decent in that game, and I think you've got to give it to Ramsdale and maybe Saka, but the others was totally dark. They weren't really in the game. The passing was awful. There was already no attack. They were that final third of the pitch, the area was just awful. So Arteta is going to have to start. He's going to have to explain to the team how he wants them to play. They've got to play it. They've got to win the game. I mean, these are games now that are coming up now against. Well, we should have beat Everton, but now we've got Brentford coming up. Do you know what? This ain't going to be no walk in the park. They're good, and look how they're performing this season as well, Brentford. So it's going to be tight. I think there may be goals in the game, but hopefully it just be by the one goal. It could be like a 2-1 or whatever. So he's got to motivate that team. He's got to give them a good damn kick in and say, look, get out there, give me 100%. This is what we do. But he's got to pick the right players. He did change the team slightly, didn't he, Tone, against Everton? The team was changed. And I think it was Trossard that was out on the left instead of Martinelli, wasn't it? So is going to be an interesting game, put it this way.
Would you agree with that, Tony? With the fact that he didn't play the right team against Everton, maybe he tried to change things up a little bit. He felt maybe a bit comfortable. The fact that you are sitting on top, you are doing so well at the moment, you're in form. Do you think that was maybe a possibility of why he changed it up, or is it niggles and injuries to some players that he kind of feels that he has to rest?
Speak no further. You just asked the question, but inadvertently you just answered the question yourself. You just answered the question yourself. There's one factor that we're not really looking at. Every other pundit will tell you different stuff. They'll regurgitate the same kind of thing, but one factor that people haven't spoken about is that factor. Thomas Partey is still having that niggling injury, with him. And in at least now, just check this out. Yeah, in 2 of the matches Arsenal have lost this season, yeah, Thomas Partey has been questionable. Either missing or questionable with a niggling injury. The matchup against Manchester United, he wasn't there. We fell to the sword against Manchester United. He came back in the reverse fixture at the Emirates, and we're winning that game somehow, some way. Suddenly, he gets kicked in the rib in that FA Cup matchup, niggling injury, and of course we know Thomas Partey is always having injuries. At least last season it shows you. I don't want to call Arsenal a one-man team, but it's proven that without Thomas Partey, we're not just in it, right? And that was why it was very, very necessary to go get a Caicedo from the transfer market. Me and Anthony, because backstage, Anthony is my very, very good friend. So we always talk about this thing. Why didn't we go into the market and get a Caicedo? Stomp up the cash for this guy, who would come in and be that engine room as a like for like, not a replacement, guys, a like for like replacement for Thomas Partey. He'll do the same kind of job Thomas Partey is doing down there, and this is the problem. So it's a niggling injury that that kind of like scapegoated us down there, and again a lack of having a plan B. As a team, we've always been having this one way forward. In the absence of Gabriel Jesus, who is always running in and about the 18-yard box, causing lots of problems, causing chaos wherever he goes down there, and causing constellations among defenders. We have an Eddie Ketia who just walks in a lateral line. And see, that's not how to, walk into teams and cut into teams that operate in a very, very tightly knit low block. You can't do it, especially against Sean Dyche, who definitely needs points with Everton in his first outing down there. So, there were lots of things that was wrong in that game. In the middle of the park, we were out muscled and, outmanned, outgunned in the middle of the park by Decore, Onana. They turned into stallions at the end of the day. This guy's high power. They just knocked us out. And of course, Saka was also, of course, outmatched in that, in that right hand side. Gabriel Martinelli is lost. I thought that after getting a new deal, a new 5-year deal, that it would reassure him that, you know what, yeah, the fans love you and it will make you give us a good show. But you know what, my brother? It was missing that day. So we're not just only having an Eddie Nketiah who hasn't scored in 2 games. Okay, to be fair to him, 5 goals in 8 games. Don't let us flatter it too much. It's okay, but on paper, but it's not helping the team in it because we do need goals, yeah. But you know
Yeah.
what? The bigger picture is that very, very important winger who should help us in the absence of Gabriel Jesus is not scoring goals, and it was just given a new 5-year contract, Gabriel Martinelli.
Do you think maybe with the Conchado thing from Brighton, the fact that you took Trossard as well, who would you have preferred to have taken if you only had one player you wanted? Would it have been Trossard over Conchado or Conchado over Trossard? If you could, like, because that's what it seems like to me. It seems like Brighton were only going to let you have one. You got
Yeah.
Trossard, and then you went for Conchado, and
Well,
see, they said there's no money at this moment in time that will
mm,
take it away from us because they don't want to lose their players, do they?
no, they don't. No, I think to be honest with you, Matt, the player that I wanted was McAllister.
He's
You
good,
know,
yeah.
he had a brilliant World Cup winner with Argentina, a good DM. Is because it's like what Tony said. Um, is that spine? Once Partey is taken out, if he's picked up an injury, that is a good 50% away from that spine of that middle of that team. So this is what I'm saying. So when he's out, you could bring in McAllister. Plus with them three as well, you could rotate them round and play. Do you know what I mean? And playing in different games here and games there. So he could pick up life and what football's like at Arsenal Football Club. And also he would have been cheaper as well. I
Yeah.
believe, than 80 million. So, that's one of the players that I would have picked from Brighton personally. And I think he would have fitted in Arsenal and fit in that slot lovely, in my opinion.
So you're just going to have all the players from Brighton, Tony? Yeah, is that what you Arsenal fans wanted?
No, no, we might as well support
No,
them.
no, see, Brighton is in for the taking. People are going there. They're just like the colonies, of the past. You go there, pillage the place, pick up these players, tap them up, and bring them to your team. Chelsea wanted to do it. They did it the first time. They took in Cucurella. Of course, is nothing like what it used to be for them in Brighton Football Club. But see, yeah, you can't deny that Caicedo is a big time player. You can't deny that he went to the World Cup, became a Centurion down there, played with the big boys, swam with the whales and with the sharks in the World Cup. He has the skills to perform at Arsenal, and his performances in Brighton also, shows us completely that me and Anthony have also been talking backstage about this guy all season. Anthony, you will back me up on this and on what you said too. McAllister, why
Yeah,
then Arsenal? See, yeah, it's good and okay for Brighton to come up and say, you know what, yeah, Caicedo is our player, but you know what? We're having a strong resolve to actually keep him because he's our player. We have the right to say he's 80 million. See, they have the right to say he's 100 million. What do? You look for the next cheaper one, 50, 60, 40. Who was the next 40 million player Arsenal was to go get if Caicedo couldn't come in? I'm sorry, but seeing a pensioner, 31-year-old pensioner, coming from Chelsea Football Club, it broke my heart. I was hurt. I was hurt seeing Jorginho in my team. This 31-year-old comes in from Chelsea. He doesn't play for Chelsea. He's not on the match day squad for Chelsea. And he comes in and, we just give him this, this big carpet to just roll into Arsenal and bamboozle us. you couldn't get it at 10th place Chelsea Football Club. What gives you the assurances that you can come in to the league table leaders? That's how insulting that
You feel
signing was. And come in and walk into our team and just, boss it.
you
I
feel
don't
Tony.
understand.
You feel he's another Willian, basically. Yeah.
See, usually I'm usually a positive gunner usually, but it's just our transfer window that has turned me upside down and turned me into a spiral of negativity in a way. But
Hey,
you know what? Yeah. But you know what? Yeah. Uh, Jorginho is an Arsenal player. I would back him. I
yeah.
would back him.
At least you didn't get Weghurst.
There's a
Hey.
reason why. There's a reason why I'll back him. There's a reason why I'll
Yeah,
back him. Of course, he's a leader. That's one thing about him. He's a leader. He's won a trophy on the international stage. He's done it with Italy. See, if you're not a centurion, if you're not strong, if you're not a gladiator, you won't do things in that Italian team. So he's been there. He's done that. He's won championships. He's won league titles. I think no, sorry, not. He's won European titles with Chelsea Football Club. He's a big time player. But let's see what let's see how far his pension goes with Arsenal Football Club, because Arsenal seems to love this pensive player. So, let's see. But I think he'll be different. I don't think he's a William because he kind of knows how to keep his body fit. If you see him, he's lean. He comes with a very cut, lean figure. So, he could still cut it, because when William came into our football club, that's when he decided to get a daddy bod like me and Anthony Herbert. He grew a big tummy, didn't want to play, and he shipped himself to Brazil. And you know what? Yeah, he found himself back to Fulham, and it's playing
yeah,
quite well. Arsenal have been at the back end of disturbing and shocking and traumatic deals from Chelsea Football Club. They shipped their baggage to us.
yeah.
Yeah, and look, I completely agree with the Jorginho thing, and the way he gallops for his penalties as well, like a unicorn on a cloud. He really does. But look, Everton are the bogey team of Arsenal. Unfortunately, it's one of those results again. I think last year you lost to him at Everton as well. I think it was a
See,
really
we've had no joys there. Of course, I'm a bit of a statistician. We've not won there since 2017. Yeah. It's been a horrible showdown there. The last time we had any joys down there, it was Mesut Ozil that was running the show down there. Scored a perfect hat trick. The game ended 5-2. Lovely, lovely time to be there. But you know what? Since after that time, to go winning in the blue side of Scouse land, it's been horrible, my brother.
It's
Horrible.
been horrible indeed, but I'm sure Arsenal will look back on the league at the end of it and say we've achieved something here this season. I'm pretty sure Arsenal have.
Hopefully.
We're going to move on to the next topic. Smash a like, share, subscribe if you are watching, people. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got some comments to read out. Eddie's Football Waffle says, big up. I'm dropping a like. Eddie,
Big
thank you
ups.
so much.
Thank you, bro.
Big up.
Bobby K, Virtual Spud in the house. King TV says, big up all. Are there any
Big up,
Brentford
King
players?
TV. Big ups to you, man.
Are there any Brentford players that you would consider could get into the Arsenal starting 11? We will answer that at the start of our next topic, because it is going to lead into that live shortly. Yeah, technical delays. Richard Herbert, hello, lads. I'm pretty sure that's a relative of yours, Anthony.
Yes,
Mr.
that's my
B
brother.
from the Man United Agenda, mate, thank you so much for coming in. I miss you, bro. Good to see you here. Richard Herbert, Anthony, what do you think of Ben White? I'll let you go for it.
Oh god.
Mm.
Well, my opinions of him when he first
He's
come
never
in
really liked
wasn't
him.
that great. It wasn't that easy. If anybody's going to put me on the spot, it's going to be your younger brother. Put it that way. And
Big ups,
he's
Richard. Love you
yeah,
too, man.
the to be. But yeah, I didn't think of him at all. I didn't think he was that great when we first signed him. But he's been playing. He hasn't been playing that bad. I thought he was very poor against Everton, though. I will say that.
What
And
about you?
I'll use.
You agree with Anthony there, Tony? What do you think of Ben White?
I think we're really putting a big pressure on this guy. He's just a 50 million pound player. See, that's what 50 million pounds gets for you. right now it's just the market. Yeah, it's just coming with a big price tag. He didn't come with a very, very big reputation to Arsenal Football Club. His price was just stumped up because it was from Brighton Football Club and it's English. That's just what stumped up his price. Even himself, he was very angry with his price tag. He would tell you, I'm not a 50 million pound player. So that attachment to being a big player, nah, I don't really see it. And you know what? Yeah, to corroborate with what Anthony Herbert, he's had 2-3 shocking games.
Yeah.
Back to back, man. Shocking games by standards this season. When you take a certain player that wasn't playing in centre back quite well, and turn him into a makeshift right back. Of course, it comes with its bad sides, But this season it's been a very, very good servant, But for the past 3 games, it's been shaky. It looks bereft of ideas. People are actually finding out that you're actually a centre back, And again, this is where his mental strength will be tested because many teams are just
Yeah.
actually finding him out because in like 3 games it's been bereft of ideas. So this is a chance for him to actually bounce back, come back, and he has one of the best coaches to do that for him, Mikel Arteta.
Yeah.
He's another one from Brighton as well, isn't he?
But this question here, too, by my brother, that's a typical Man United fan question. That is typical Man United.
Is he Man United? Oh, right. He's asking you on a different perspective. Mr. B's a Man United fan, and he's saying he's shite, which you would do, Mr. B. I'm with you, but I'm trying to keep.
But he hasn't
here.
been shite this season. Let's be fair to him. This season he's been gallant this season. As players, he's allowed to have 2 or 3 bad games, but we'll just stick it like that, right?
It is, yeah. I completely agree, mate. He has done a lot better this year. I definitely want him in the England squad as well. I think he's worthy of being there. Richard Herbert says, how's it going, Mr. B? My debut on the Arsenal show. Mr. B says, mine too. Richard Herbert, I come off if you want to come on as sub, Mr. B. And he says, LOL. Mr. B says, no, I'm passing through, just showing some love. Cheers, Mr. B.
Big up, Mr. B.
Fair play, Mr. B. And Mr. B smiling. Right, moving on to the next and last topic. We're talking about the Brentford preview. Now, they're doing exceptionally well at the moment. They're in the European places, probably the first time in their history to be able to be in that situation. It's remarkable what Thomas Frank is doing and the players that they've got, and they didn't really spend out too much like you've seen Nottingham Forest bagging in 28 players in the space of 6 months or maybe a little bit more. So what are you making of this fixture? I know that your first fixture against them in the Premier League didn't go too smoothly. So are you going to prove to Brentford that you are where you are in the league for a specific reason? That's because you are dominating at the moment. Do you think you can do to Brentford what you didn't do to Leeds? Anthony?
Well, you'd like to think so, but it's like what you said with Thomas Frank. He's doing a great job there. That he's got the players playing well. They've adjusted to his style of play. They're just playing good football at the minute, and especially now with Ivan Toney back into the team, that player that they were missing for the last couple of games due for injury. What's going to ever happen with him with this scandal thing? I think that was probably. I think they let him play his football and then they'll look into it at the end of the season. Personally, but yeah, it's going to be an hard game. It's not going to be a walk in the park. Arteta's got to change. Maybe I don't know whether it's formations, bringing the actual players. That we played with before the transfer window. But I could see Jorginho playing instead of Thomas Partey. So that's a real weakness there for us in the middle. But I think if we can play well, I think we'll play well. I think we can win the game. We are capable of winning the game. But it's like what I said earlier in the stream, Matt. It'll only be by a goal. So if I was to, I don't know, you want me to give a prediction now or after or
at the end, if you do.
At the end. Okay. But yeah, I feel a little bit confidence I think it was just a back. We were on the back burner left, against Everton. That's only 2 games we've lost this season, so we can't really argue with that, can we? So
The others,
you know,
who was the other team? I can't remember. Who was the other team? I can't remember who they were. They beat
United,
who? Oh, was it? Oh, yes. Sorry, I forgot. I can't.
Man
How could,
United. But
yes.
I have said, Matt, with Manchester United, the way they're playing at the minute, I reckon you'll finish second.
Oh,
You've heard
guys,
it here first.
just to cut in on this, I've really liked the games between Man United and Arsenal this season. They've been very tight.
Yeah,
They've been very close, and it just shows that great competition between the two clubs is coming back. But Tony, to go back onto to Brentford as well, mate. What are you expecting from this game? Are you fearful? And by the way, guys, I don't know whether it's home or away for you. So Tony, give us the details as well on that.
See, yeah, this is pretty simple. These guys are seventh in the league for a reason. They're not Everton. These guys will come to play. They're coming to take our heads off at the Emirates. Mind you, they're coming for blood. When we went down there to the Brentford Community Stadium, you saw what happened, yeah, in the first half. Odegaard turning it up a notch, destroying this team completely, making them look like babies, turning them into a public show. But you know what? They're coming for blood. But you know what? Yeah, the seventh in the league, 21 games played, yeah. One game ahead of Arsenal, right? Good and okay. These guys have scored 35 goals this season. They've shipped 28 goals. That's the same amount of goals that Everton has shipped in this season. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? It tells you that defensively that they're leaky. Actually, they're
yeah,
leaky in the defense, yeah. But again, it also shows that there's a balance in that team. They're also prolific. They're scoring goals, and that's why I'll be seeing a tripartite kind of presser coming from Umbuemo, Ivan Tony, and Wissa. See, yeah, these guys are not gonna lay back. They're not gonna lay low when they face us. They will not pity us because they'll be licking their lips with what they saw against Everton, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, Onana, Gaye, and Decore actually malhandling Arsenal in the middle of the park." They'll be licking their lips because they have
Yeah.
one of the most, in fact, they have the most athletic players, scattered around that team. And mind you, they have May, who is leading that defense line. It's going to be a very, very tough one, my brother. I don't see Arsenal, you know, making it a very, very public beating tomorrow. I think we might just escape narrowly with a 2-1 because, and again, Ivan Tony, the time you have right now to actually get some goals in before the back end of his crimes with the betting scandal comes into play. Right now, he has the patience of a rapist. Right now, he's in search of goals. Right now, that's how impatient this guy is. Right now, just before the FA rained those charges
Yeah.
on him and close the book on him, he really needs to score. That's the amount of patience he has right now. So I'm a bit afraid of this match. It could go the wrong way tomorrow. Uh, and that's why our defenders have to be alert, mostly in set pieces. Set pieces hasn't been something of a big worry towards this season. Even last season, it hasn't been. But when Everton opens the floodgate last weekend, you know that thing with Arsenal that when we lose a game, we just keep losing. Like it's just like a train wreck. Does it mean that we considered a set piece last weekend? Does that open the floodgates for these teams to say, you know what, yeah, these guys pride themselves in being one of the best teams per ratio in terms of conceding goals from set pieces, which could be from corner kicks or free kicks. You know what, yeah, after that game against Everton, let's have a go. Let's have a go at this guys.
yeah,
Let's traumatize Ramsdale.
Yeah.
Let's make him a little bit shaky. Let's poke fun and cause constellation. Amongst his defenders. I think that might come tomorrow. And of course, when you have physical players like Umbuemo, Wizza, and of course Ivan Tony. who in fact I really wanted to be our number 9 this season at Arsenal, was my first choice. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, it's going to be a very, very difficult match tomorrow.
It is
Although I see
indeed.
us escaping with a win, but it's going to be a very deadly one tomorrow. They are not in a relegation battle. They are in seventh, and they're in seventh for a reason.
Yeah, they want to get European places, so they want to keep
Fun
progressing.
fact, fun fact. These guys haven't lost in 8 games. The only games dating back to 8 games that they've lost is against West Ham, and that was in an FA Cup. So in 8 games, Premier League games, these guys haven't lost. That's how mad this team is. The brimming with confidence, and mind you, Thomas
Yeah.
Frank again.
Yeah.
The effect of this guy on that team.
They have scalped a few heads this season. Let's put it that
Oh,
way. They've done really well, and it is
oh.
at it's at the Emirates. It is a home game
Yeah.
for us. You think this is an advantage for you, seeing as you went away to Everton? That happened. Now you can go back home. You can give the fans something to cheer about with this London derby. Anthony.
Yes, we can do. Yeah. So it's like what I said. It's like what you said, Matt. Sorry, is home advantage. It's just a game we need to win. We need to put the Everton game behind us now. Move on and just concentrate on getting the 3 points. I don't care how we play. If it's a scrappy game, if it's a good, exciting game with end-to-end stuff, but we win by the odd goal 2-1. I'm all up for that.
I'm not asking your score prediction just yet. I'm going to read out some comments and then we're
Yeah,
going to end
sorry.
with your, and you give us some goal scorers if you want to. I know it's very difficult. DWTT.
I have a show starting in the next 3-4 minutes, so
Yeah,
I'll have
we're
to
gonna finish.
bounce right now. But of course, I would like to
We're going to
finish.
finish now, Tony. I'm just going to go through these comments. We'll ask your score prediction, then we'll end it off. DWTT, Evening at Football United TV. Richard Herbert
Big
says,
ups DWTT, lovely guy.
Ivan, Anthony, Tony, Mama Flossie, big up. Thank you so much for coming in.
Mama
Hey, guys.
Flossie, big ups.
Can't stay, but I've hit the like. Thank you, Mama. I'll see you in the TalkSport chat. I know you're in there. Is it a Brentford ground? Yeah, we said that. It was the Emirates. Arsenal will win 4-1, says Richard Herbert. So, Anthony, what's the score prediction, mate? What do you think is
See,
going to be?
it's going to be a very tight match tomorrow. It's going to be 2 goals to 1. Arsenal would find that bit of quality to actually, outmuscle them. Because you know why? It's because it's at the Emirates. Because all the shenanigans going on everywhere, Arsenal haven't lost at the Emirates. So, mind you, Odegaard is very, very key to this game in order to run the show. So
Mm.
let's make it a deja vu like what happened in the reverse fixture. Make sure Odegaard is in that game. Don't allow him to be outmuscled by the players in the middle of the park. And just make sure that Eddie Nketiah is leading a presser rather than just running up in a lateral line. And Martinelli is brought into the game more if he's not getting his accurately. Trossard immediately should be introduced into that game. So it's going to be a tough one. 2-1 for me.
2-1. What about you, Anthony, mate? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm the same with Tony. I'm going to go a 2-1 win. I think who'll get our goals. Oh, I think I've Antonio score most probably for Brentford, and then for us it'd be Saka, and I would most probably have to say either Odegaard or Martinelli. I can't see Eddie Nketiah scoring. If I'm honest with you.
Well, that's fair enough, guys. Thank you, everybody. We're going to wrap it up there. I know Tony's got to go into another stream right now, but before you do go, Tony, please tell us kindly where everybody can find you. And thank you so much for coming on our channel once again.
Yeah, sure. See, I'm just meeting this mate today, yeah, and I just feel like he's a great guy, big up to you, my guy. And of course, guys, you already know me here, from Anthony Herbert. Anthony Herbert is my big friend, and he has been hosting the show too. So big ups to two of them and to Matt too. Also, see, I run a channel. It's called Tony Cloud Gunner TV. I talk about Arsenal. I also bring in other people from other clubs, and they have their say on the Premiership, what's going on around football. So, guys, please just go to my channel, subscribe at Tony Cloud Gunner TV, and let's just be there and talk about football because we're all football lovers and we're Arsenal fans. Come on, you Gunners.
Cheers. Thank you so much, Tony, for coming on again. And here is the main host of the show, Anthony Herbert.
Yeah.
Where can we find you, mate, apart from here?
Well, you can find me here at Football United TV, hosting Gunners from All Corners. Got a great guy on with Tim coming on. It was nice, totally different tonight with Matt. Well, he was asking the question, so that was kind of good. Bit of a change, but I highly enjoyed it. And there he is. And you can find me on my social medias is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at my name, Anthony Herbert.
Brilliant. Guys, that is a wrap. One more comment here. Richard Herbert says, I think if Arsenal score early, their heads will go. Well, we can save that for another time. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Smash the like, share, subscribe. Go check out Tony, Claude, Gunner TV. If you can, please go check out Anthony on all his social medias and us too. Instagram, Twitter, Football United TV. You know where to find us. Until next time, everybody, have a pleasant weekend. Bye-bye.
Peace out.
Bye.
Okay.